Hello everyone, happy Friday, hope you are all doing well. Welcome in. Thank you, Harry, LT Bago, for being as reliable as ever. Apologies for the slightly late start, I was trying to sort some stuff out. About 2 minutes before I went live, I realised that I don't actually have Live Split installed on my new PC, which is what I need in order to time speedruns. So there was a hasty installation of that. Hello, Alex. Really, really good to see you. Thank you for redeeming your flower. Elfie! Elfie, you've now been first 21 times. That's a lot of times. The bot has finally stopped writing it out in words and is just using numbers now. Hello, Elfie. Your continued support is also wonderful. Hello to Cookie Jar Pottery. Good to see you again. Dorfromantik. Yes, well, Dorfromantik is actually a German word. Dorf is German for village, and romantic is German for romantic. So it means village romantic or romantic village or something along those lines anyway. But we do be dwarfing. We definitely do be dwarfing. Thank you for redeeming your first flower of the day, which is an eyebright. That's a lovely choice for your first flower, Cookie Jar. Lovely little white flower. I do hope you enjoy building up your wildflower garden. Every stream for just 10 channel points, you can get another flower. Wow, that is quite an emote you have there, Elfie. Don't stare at that one too long or you might be hypnotized. Cookie Jar says, this starting music is so lovely. I actually wrote that music myself. If you go onto the About tab on my channel page and look down there, there is a link to my SoundCloud, although don't get too excited because currently the stream start music is the only thing on there. But there might be more things in future. I don't want to rule anything out at this point. LT Bago says, oopsies. What happened, Tibago? Oh, hello to Fi was here. I don't think I've seen you before. Hello, welcome to what will shortly be a Dorfromantik stream. Long time since I played Dorf on this channel. If you would like to see my previous Dorf content, it is all available on my YouTube channel. I think all the VODs will have expired by now, but I have over 20 videos of Dorf, mostly of my climb to 1 million points in classic mode, but also some other things like my original speedrun attempts. But yes, good to have you here. I will get things set up now with Dorf. I think we will probably try this month's monthly mode first. I actually did reasonably well last month. Not as well as Ophelia. Ophelia got onto the top page of the leaderboard. It was about 1,000 points ahead of me in the end, but I was in like top 20, I think. This month is a little bit different. This month is a much smaller monthly mode, so we'll probably have time for a couple of attempts. Sorry, there we go. That wasn't set up. Also, this is not the monthly mode. This is quick mode we're looking at here. I did manage to get a new quick mode high score last week. Finally getting into the top 100 in quick mode, which I've tried many times and never succeeded before. Okay, there should be sound. If you can't hear the sound, let me know. Yeah, this month's monthly mode is one where there's a fixed board size. So this white line that you see around the edge here, that's as big as you can go. I think when Ophelia played this one, she got about 5,500. So that's a good benchmark for what a good score would be like. And we'll see what we can make of it. Wow, people are having fun with their emotes today. Debago says in response to your lack of timing software. Well, that's okay. We don't need timing software for monthly mode, at least. Let me put my camera back in the correct position for Dorf, which is to say this corner, because this corner has tiles in it, and the top corner has the score. So apart from the limited build area, I don't think there's anything particularly special about this month's choice of tiles. One thing to note about monthly mode, you do get the same tiles in the same order every time you play it through. So if you are sufficiently dedicated enough, you could plan out exactly what to build where based on what tiles you're going to get. I have done that before, but only for very small maps. This one is sort of on the edge of what you would want to do that for. It would be possible, but I don't think I have that much time to spare. So we're just going to play it through and see what happens. Might be channeling my inner Ophelia and complaining about fields in a moment, because I'm already not sure where to put this. The sound might actually be slightly quiet. Dwarf music is very quiet and peaceful. It's just getting that balance right. Yeah, I really don't like this bit. Hello, Alhuno, welcome in. It's really good to see you again. I hope you're doing okay. Let's do a shout out to Alhuno. Alhuno is such a cozy. Has a lovely voice as well. If I put this here, will I regret it? Will I get any field pieces that fit in that gap? I guess there's only one way to find out. I could go over here though. When you have a limited area like this, it tends to play very much like normal Dorf to begin with. And then you run into the edges and you have to start doing things a bit differently. One rather frustrating thing about limited size dwarfs, which you could play yourself in custom mode, but I don't think anyone ever really does. So in practice, it's only the monthly mode. The frustrating thing is if you have a flag quest, so a quest where you have to close off the area of the quest, like surround it completely. If you have one of those and it extends to the edge of the board, it becomes impossible to close it off. It doesn't count the edge as closing it, which means flag quests in monthly mode are really annoying. And unfortunately, this one does have one. Alhuno says, I'm back from the dentist, took the rest of the day off. Been working for months on a project and I'm finally over with NDA and the testing. We're getting new laptops and it has been a wild ride. Wow, okay. Well, I hope your dentist visit went okay. You're not in too much pain, if anything had to be done. I hope your exciting new project goes well. You do get a water train station on this level, but I don't really want to rely on it if I can help it. At the same time, rivers and rails are really awkward in fixed size dwarfs because you can quite quickly get to a point where the only gaps you have left are occupied by rivers or rails, and so none of the tiles the game is giving you actually fit. When that happens, the game will just start skipping over tiles, trying to find one for you, and you can actually run out of tiles and lose because the game couldn't find one. Who says it was fine, only an X-ray and cleaning. Oh, well, that's all right then. Yes, people are not a huge fan of the dentist, myself included. Good to hear it was nothing too serious. Okay, I don't think this railway is going to go anywhere. The problem with railways, the way Dorf works, the number of new quests you get is based on how many open quests you have. So until I close off these rail quests, I will get new quests, but I won't get as many new quests as I could do if they were closed off. So you really want to close them off as quickly as possible, even if it means giving up on the perfect. Hello, Hurricane. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day. Let me know if the flower of the day alert noise is too loud. I just added that. One reason being so that I don't miss it when people come in and redeem their flower. But if it's too loud, I can fix it. Hope you are having a great week, Hurricane. And if you're not, then it's weekend now. Maybe things will be better. So immediately we have a good example of what I mean with regards to the flag quests. This is a flag quest, it has the little triangle on it. So it needs to be surrounded when it's completed. That's going to be difficult because it's right at the edge of the board and we probably won't be able to surround. But never mind. We do what we can. To leave space here because I need 3 more. I suppose I could go here and then put a tile with 3. Yeah, if I possibly can, I want to arrange. Yeah, I want to arrange for this to be a closed loop, so that the flag completes. If this water extended to the end, then we wouldn't get the flag. This I probably want to go and fit 3 more in there. I'm missing a lot of perfects, but I'll take at least finishing the quest, I think. If I was here, thank you so much for redeeming your first flower of the day, a long-stalked cranesbill. It's an interesting plant. It's quite rare where I live, and the flower is very similar to Herb Robert, which I actually have an emote for, so I can show you. Long-stalked cranesbill flowers look a bit like that. The way to identify them, funnily enough, is that they have very long stalks. Sometimes flower names are helpful. Not always, but sometimes. It does what it says on the tin. This quest is technically still open that way as well. To do with this. Need 7 more. That's going to be a water. Doesn't need to be closed. We can probably get 7 more in there. And I'm going to have to bring. Put this here and then join it on. Can. Yeah, water train station is on the way. Hello Twinus, welcome in, happy Friday. Thank you for redeeming your flower. Dwarfing for what feels like the first time in a long time. Nice to be back. Okay. Join that one. We need 5 more here. If we can get some tiles with 3s and 2s on them, that's doable. That's not going to work. Hello Ratmost, welcome in, so nice to see you. Hope you're having a good week. Ratmost says good morning. It is indeed morning in Ratland. Let's give a quick shout out to Ratmost. Awesome streamer. I love the work she's been putting into her channels. You encourage everybody to go and have a look. It's just gone noon. Well, good afternoon to you then. LT Bago gets the reference. Or a reference anyway. Ratmost says, I have a fancy breakfast and all is well in the Rat Kingdom. I am so happy to hear that. Fancy breakfasts are the best. Okay, Ratmost and Tibago are gonna a reference that I don't get. Observe the the new blow height alert that I've set up. Taken me a while to get round to doing these, and the show outfit. You know, I've had these emotes for a long time. I just never got round to actually using them in my alerts. Thank you both for those requests. Let's take a quick pause of the gameplay while we do that. Yes, I hope you like the new alerts. You probably noticed Flower of the Day obviously does the little noise now as well. I would like at some point to do a custom alert for all my redeems. Right now, most of them still just do the thing. Hello, Ben. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your 100th flower, Ren. Congratulations on 100 flowers. That means 100 streams you've been to. Well, actually more, because you were here before I introduced Flower of the Day. But at least 100 streams you've been to. Your continued support means so much to me. Enjoy your Baron Strawberry. Just going to go and fetch Blowhigh. This is Blowhigh. He is short. He is soft and cuddly, and we love him. And sometimes, although he's not here, Matcha Catcher does like to post polls on my Discord of what we should do with Blowhigh. And I should probably honour it just in case he watches the VOD and finds out. Right, the top the top option in the vote right now is balance Blowhigh on your nose. It doesn't really work because the shark is very soft, so I'm just sort of smushing it onto my face. But I gave it a go. Ratmost says, what a cute top. Oh, thank you, Ratmost. I'm glad you like it. It, of course, has flowers. This is probably my favourite top. I wear it a lot in the summer. I don't wear it outside in the winter because it's too cold here, but today I'm not too cold. And I have a lot of things with a floral print on them, as you can imagine. But this is probably the single favourite thing out of all of them. Emma is seal, says LT Backer. Let me do the outfit redeem. It includes one free spin. Twana says, I only just noticed, but are those Lego flowers behind you? They are, yes. I recently sort of revamped my streamer shelf thingy. First of all, I bought a second shelf so I can have twice as much crap behind me. And yeah, then I had to find some things. And I've had them for a while, but I finally got around to assembling them. This is the wildflower set. Lego do have a few sets of flowers, but this one is specifically wildflowers. Not necessarily British wildflowers, but wildflowers. This one is wild. This is cow parsley. This is wild in Britain. And this is Welsh poppy, which is often escapes. Twana says, nice, I really like the Lego flowers. I like them as well. They were fun to assemble, and I like the fact that it's intended as like a cost-saving measure, but they like to reuse pieces that have come from other sets. So, for example, in this, the petals in this are actually pirate hats from their pirate set, except they're pink and purple. And I do like the idea of somebody buying the pirate set and then swapping these out so all the pirates have pink and purple hats. I don't know if anyone's done that. focus slightly. I'd like everybody to be able to see Verdsky's amazing picture that she gave me. Twana says there's a cherry blossom tree set where the petals are frogs. Interesting. We might have to get that at some point. I have considered assembling Lego on stream as potential future content. Once I get my second camera working, I'd like to have an arrangement where I have a camera at my face and then a top-down camera where I can do stuff at my desk. The intended use case of that was playing the Dorfromantik board game, which you can see down there. It is a single-player game, so I could play it on stream easily enough. But I don't quite have that working yet. That's also the reason I haven't returned to Dorf before now. It was always intended that next time I did Dorf, it would be a physical Dorf board game rather than the video game. But somebody beat my speedrun records, so that's persuaded me to do some Dorf again. Anyway, get back to the game. Ren says, lurk, I'm still working but do amazing at Dorf. Thank you for the lurk, Ren, and hope work goes okay. And thank you, Ratmost, for redeeming your flower. How dare it? I mean, I'm glad that there's some competition for the speedrun, because very few people have actually done it, so it's good. I'm all in favour of it. This run is not turning out, this monthly run, not speed run, is not turning out particularly well. I think if I started again I could possibly do it a bit better. Yeah, when you get tiles like this one that have river and rail on them, these are awkward at the best of times. They're awkward in a normal game, but they're especially awkward in monthly mode, where you can't just wait a few hours for the right tile to come along. El Tibago apparently has been doing some quick googling of Lego sets. Says it's the bonsai tree set 10 to 81. Yes, if I ever do some Lego on stream, it will definitely be botany themed, and I'm sure I will at some point. How am I going to get 4 more water pieces in here now? Just any piece with water and rail on it is going to be a bad time. It just is. Let's put that. Need to try and position. See, if I was playing an infinite game, I would put this tile on the outside here. I need to try and plan this to maximise my chances of being able to get 4 more tiles down. And this, I should have remembered this was going to happen. I saw this happen when Ophelia played this mode. Right at the end of the game, it throws you these awful rail tiles that you just can't fit anywhere. That one I could actually probably fit there, and maybe we'll get another water train station. Should be able to get this quest at least, even though we haven't got almost any of the edges matching. Hoping for a piece to fit here so I can close this quest. It's not coming. We might just have to stick any old piece in there. Yeah, let's stick any old piece in there. That's 3 perfect. That's 4 perfects. We'll do it that way round then. Oh, Tibago says at least it wasn't awful fields. Ah, Tibago has been watching Ophelia. You can tell. I'm not quite as bothered about fields as Ophelia is, although she makes a very good point that they're not very realistic. Ratmos says 4 simultaneous perfect tiles. Nice. Yes, that's true. Although, in a classic mode game, you can usually get 7 simultaneous perfect tiles fairly easily. That is to say, a tile and then everything surrounding it perfect. But on such a small map with such a limited selection of tiles, it just doesn't happen. At the moment, I'm really just focusing on trying to get all the quests and not bothering about the tiles. The tile edges. Ah, this is annoying. Can I... Oh, I can still get that. That's okay then. The other thing to consider with limited sized dwarfs is you can never get a perfect placement on the outer edges. This tile here, you can't see my mouse cursor, but the tile in the middle of the screen, that tile will never be perfect because we're not placing anything on the 2 outer edges. What that means is the edges between the outer tiles. So for example, here we've got an edge with 2 fields touching, we've got an edge with 2 plane touching, and we've got an edge with 2 rails touching. Although those matching do score you an extra 10 points for matching the edge, that doesn't contribute towards a perfect placement. So it's usually not worth worrying too much about getting them. And now you see the problem as you get to the end of the game. I can only place a tile here. Oh, you can see my mouse cursor, can you? Oh. Interesting. I can't see it on OBS. OBS is not actually showing me what's going on to the stream. That's nice to know. That's good then. You can sort of see what I'm explaining. Yeah, none of these tiles are going to be perfect. Hello, Liari. Welcome in. Thank you so much for redeeming your flower. Are we past being able to get 17? Yeah. Or 20. Oh, if I close off my town, it only gives me 17 plus on this quest. But if I leave my town open, it gives me 25 plus on the quest. It conspires to make sure I can't fulfill that quest, but that's okay. We'll just go with whatever matches the most edges, which is probably going to be that. Yeah, the last few placements in this mode are always terrible, and you've just got to go with the least bad option. Or in some cases, literally the only option. And then you see how the game is skipping tiles here? After I've placed this one, the game will actually start discarding tiles until it finds one that fits. Now if I put this really needs to go here because it's the only tile that will have rail and water on it. But that's only 1 perfect. How many perfects is that? That's 3 perfects. I almost wonder if that's more worth it. I can get another perfect with this river tile that comes up here. I've could also put it here, although that's not any perfects at all, so don't do that. I think this is going to be the best total score, because otherwise that tile won't be filled at all. Now I just have to see if something comes up for this last tile. Oh, that goes there. See? I have to hope we get a rail end piece. We did have about 70 tiles to get through, so let's see how it goes. It is possible to just completely run out of tiles here. But 5,300 isn't a bad score. There we go. Okay, 5,320, 68th place. I'm going to briefly check the leaderboard. Oh. Please show me the leaderboard. Normally clicking on your leaderboard position takes you to the leaderboards, but apparently Steam is steaming today. Oh, right, yeah. The Steam leaderboard isn't up yet. The Dorfromantik development team are not really on the ball some of the time, and it takes them like until the second week in the month to remember that they need to update the Steam leaderboard. So I am 68th on this month's leaderboard. I just can't view the leaderboard on Steam. I wanted to check what Ophelia's score was. I think it was about 5,500. Anyway, I think I'll do one more monthly mode attempt, and then we'll move on to some speed dwarfing. Now, in theory, I should be using I should have learnt some lessons from what we just saw, and I should be making these placements with that in mind. In theory. Of course, in practice, I'm almost certainly not going to have learnt anything from it. You don't have an awful lot of options at the start anyway. Ratmost says, dev team of sleepy tower placing game runs slow. I'm shocked. I'm not that shocked. Yeah. Well, to be fair, they are working on another game. I'm not sure when that is due to be completed, but there's been stuff about it on their Discord for a while. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will, of course, stream it when it comes out. But yes, Dwarf and slowness go hand in hand. Which makes it an odd choice of game to speedrun, but then that's Emma for you. When has Emma ever done things that make sense? Harry. Of course, Harry has the numbers to hand. Thank you, Harry. Ophelia got 5,560 points during her attempt last stream. Okay, so as of right now, Ophelia is still ahead on this month. We shall see if we can do better this time. Got to go fast, says Ratmost. Well, not if you're not speedrunning. Dorf is very much a game that encourages careful placement and thought about what you want to do. You know, the exact opposite of what makes a good speedrun game. But good speedrun games are popular with speedrunners, and so yeah, something like Celeste, for example, just to give an example of a game I have been playing recently that does have a big speedrun community. Celeste is so heavily optimized in its speedruns that there is absolutely no chance. I mean, I replayed Chapter 1 of Celeste several times over off stream to try and get what I thought was a reasonably fast completion of it. And on the speedrun.com leaderboard for Celeste, I think my run would be about like 2,300 out of 2,303. It's like right at the bottom. Because so many people are like, you don't even bother submitting your time unless it's really, really good. Ratmo says the competition for the speedruns is steep. Was that a pun, Ratmost? Was that a pun about mountain climbing? Also, where do I don't want to extend this because I don't want to make the next forest quest harder for myself, but maybe that is the correct play here. Altibango says the time you sent me, you were 2,137th. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Right. That looks quite nice there. See if anything comes of that. Should I put these fields in here to count towards the quest, but then leave non-field tiles on the edges? Or should I forget about that and just put a bigger field tile here? Decisions. I think I'm actually going to put it here. Because I know there are big field tiles coming. I think I'll take the easier house quest this tile. Yeah. I see the little differences in placement make a big difference in the end. I had this little loop of river last time, but it was one tile further from the edge, which meant after I did this, I could complete the loop and get the flag. If I put this here, I won't get the flag from the flag quest because the river goes off the edge. So that's unfortunate. I think I might have to do that anyway. I could point it this way and not actually get it just yet and hope that I get something that lets me keep it on the edge. Let's see. Maybe I can join this forest to this forest because this is a nice fit. I might try and join these forests up. Altibago says to Ratmost, at the end of streams, do you sometimes say, tune in next time, same rat channel, like the 60s Batman TV show? I mean, if she doesn't, I think she should start. That's an awesome idea. Okay, I think I can actually block this off. Ah, not quite. I can, this, yeah, that doesn't block it off. And that doesn't block it off. That's I can block it off if I don't match this edge. And, well, I also need something at this end to block. I'm just going to go with not matching that edge, I think. Okay, now I need to actually... Yeah, I don't want to put anything like this here to start creating branches when I'm trying to get a flag quest. So that means I have to start another river. And then panic later on when we have no way of closing it, no doubt. There. We can technically still make this flag work, possibly, with a bit of luck. If we get a bend piece, might try that. Might turn out to be a bad idea. Ah, Ratmost says, I've made a to Tibago on the same rap time thing. I've made a concerted effort not to, but only because my schedule is not yet allowed for a same rap time. Ah, yes, that is a good point. That is unfortunate. And I do not wish to overpromise. I love that. Of all the rats out there, you're definitely the most. Finally a tile that we can sort of complete this with. It doesn't match very well, but I do need to actually get these quests now. Oops, not like that. That's two perfects. And that's two other perfects. Okay. Doesn't really matter which I choose then. Here's that annoying tile from before. We could actually use it here. And then I don't need to worry about the railway because the railway just comes on the map and then goes straight off again. We still haven't closed this river, but we still theoretically can. We also need to close the forest. more doable. That's annoying. I need the reflected version of this tile in order for this to work properly. Ooh! Multibago! Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Ratmost. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. And Ratmost, enjoy your ads and emote free viewing. Wait, what? Thank you so much, Multibago. Your support means a lot to me. This is really annoying because I'm giving up on a perfect no matter what. I don't think the correct tile for this ever appears. We'll go with... Actually, we won't go with that because I might have to compromise there. We'll go with that. Because I need to get one more to finish the quest as well. Oh, this is just no good. Is there anywhere I can fit 13 more houses? Probably not, but we'll try. I always forget about that one. I definitely... I could fit 4 more bits of water in here, but then I wouldn't be able to close the flag quest, I think. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, the 4th one would have to be this one that I can't currently place. It could happen. Let's see what we can do. Right, here's those stupid rail tiles. I mean, there's that, but I don't think that's a good idea. That I don't think is a good idea. What about that and then this? That way we've only got one end still sticking out. I don't think I'm going to be able to do 7 here and do the water, so I'll put it here and use it towards that one. No, I'm going to get this forest quest either, I don't. Going to be close, but I don't think we get there. Oh well. We tried. We can get the flag at least. There we go. 27 for this field, maybe. Maybe it can be done. Yeah, if I get, assuming I get a tile with 5 houses on and I put it here, obviously I'm not going to get the 38. And then I can put a 2 field tile here. would work. We are running out of space now. I think we'll have to choose between getting this water quest and getting the flag. The quest and I think the quest and flag are worth the same in terms of points. I think. Of course, tiles aren't a concern in this mode. Because I've got 80 of them. Yeah, I'll put this here. At least we get the quest. So yeah, this is going to be a choice between the flag or the quest. I think I'll choose the flag because it's easier to get at this point. And they're worth the same. Don't think I'm going to get this exact 5 either. Yeah, this is going to be better served here than attached to this, because there are perfects to be had there. Or maybe I can get... I can't remember how many more rail tiles it gives you. I'm really hoping I get another field tile before I'm forced to put something here. Otherwise, I don't even get to do that quest, which would be a shame. Okay, if we need 4 more here, it could be this one and then these 3. So, do that. Right, okay, yeah, it's not going to be possible. Oh well. In that case, I might as well get a perfect out of it. No, it's another forest. All I needed was a tile with 2 fields on, but I'm not going to get a tile with 2 fields on. I'll do that for some perfect. And that a perfect? No, that tile's not a perfect. That one is a perfect. No. The next tile down would get me more perfects here, but that's it then. We've got to lose tiles off the stack until we get to a rail tile. The good news is we've beaten our previous score. We have 5,800 now. Can we get to 6,000? It's going to be close. Are we even going to get another tile that fits here? So far, no. Ah, there we go. Okay. We do not get to 6,000, but we do get 5,950, which is 7th place. I'm quite happy with that. I don't know what the top score is, as I say. The leaderboards are not available on Steam yet. Hopefully sometime this month they do make them available, and then I can tell you what the top score is. It's probably around 7,000 if I had to guess. That would be about what you could get by planning nicely, I think. It will certainly be more than 6,000. So we'll save that one. Might share that one on the Dorf Discord at some point if I don't manage to beat it. There are definitely obvious improvements, like actually getting 1 more field tile for that field quest. But yeah, 55% perfect placements doesn't sound very good, but you have to remember that none of the tiles around the edge can be perfect placements. So yeah. all things considered, it's quite good, I think. And we did manage to get we actually got both of the flag quests that we completed, we got the flag for as well. This one, if we completed it, we wouldn't have got the flag, and also this one. Getting a flag on a rail quest is really hard anyway, because rail end pieces are very rare. The whole game I was only given one rail end piece, which was here. I did close the other railway, but only because I had to use both water train stations as the two ends. So yeah, I will probably try this again at some point this month, see if I can get 6,000. But for now, I'm gonna do some speedrun attempts. Now, I'm quite rusty on these. It's almost a year since I did them, so I can't promise I'm going to be breaking any records today, but we'll certainly give it a go. So we're going to be switching back to classic mode, not to my 1 million point classic mode Dorf, which I haven't touched since my last Dorf stream on the 26th of April, where we reached the 1 million. But we will be playing new Dorfs. Let me just quickly get up speedrun.com to give you some context for how this works with Dorfromantik. So there are 4 categories. All of them involve just playing the game in classic mode and getting to a certain score as quickly as you can. 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 or 25,000 points. I was at one point second on the 2,000 point. I've never held the record for 2,000 because this is a very lucky run in terms of what tiles they got, and is going to be very hard to beat. But my record of 43 seconds was actually recently overtaken, so in third. But until last week, I did have the record on the other 3 categories. So 5,000, my 317 was the record. That's been beaten with a 231. Now 231 is also a very strong time for 5,000 points. My 317 I thought was quite good, but there we go. We can certainly see if we can improve this time. Even if I can't beat the record, I can aim for under 3 minutes, for example. 10,000 points. I did have the record with 9 minutes 20, and there's now a 7:26. This 9:20 was not such a strong time. This, I think, was my first attempt at the record. So this can definitely be improved. By how much remains to be seen. And then I do still have the record in 25,000 points. That is more because I'm the only person who's done it. I mean, I'm obviously not the only person who's scored 25,000 points. I'm the only person who's attempted to do so reasonably fast and recorded myself doing it. So for now, this time is safe, but looking at this, one has to assume that this Choisery person may well be setting their sights on this record next. So it could be that we have to defend that one as well. We'll see. I'm not going to bother with the 2,000 point for now because I think it is mostly luck based. And I'm just not very interested in trying to do that. But I thought we'd give the 5,000 and 10,000 point categories a go today. So I put that out the way. And just bear with me a moment while I see if I can get live split working. because I can see live split, but that doesn't mean that you guys can see live split because it's not on my OBS overlay. So need to add capture. Sorry, I should have done all this before the stream, but that would require Emma to be organised. That's not happening. Okay, so I'll stick this next to the score, and I should be able to start, stop, and reset it. And let's maybe put some context on here. Don't worry, I'll make this text smaller. World record is 231.8 by 3. PB is 317. What was it? 8. Little bit smaller, please. Thank you. Okay. Pro streamer here. So the timing rule for Dorf is actually a bit awkward. There is an auto splitter, but it doesn't work, and even if it did, it doesn't match the timing rules that were agreed on for the category. The time doesn't start when you place the first tile. It starts when the first points are counted in the top right. If I place a tile, you'll notice that there's a short delay between placing the tile and the counter actually counting. Like, it doesn't go straight to 10. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it will continue doing that for the whole game. And what that means is that the time starts when the first point appears at the top, and the time ends when the target appears at the top. So I place the last tile that gives me the points I need, but then there's about half a second delay before the speedrun actually ends. So in practice, you just have to go back and retime every run. So what you see on the timer is, which I'm doing manually anyway, is not going to be the actual time, but it'll be within a second or two. We'll be able to tell if I get a PB. Sorry. Having to do this whilst also holding a blowhigh is always tricky. Now, one thing that I did do whilst trying to get a good 2,000 point time was reset until I get 2 tiles at the start with the same terrain type. Because this guarantees me a quest immediately. I just put these 2 tiles next to each other, that will complete a quest. And I might as well start strongly. So give that a go. This might be a bit more of a warm-up because I'm not used to it, but we'll see how we do. LT Beggar says, new speedrun category, 5,000 points while holding a shork. I mean, that's kind of what they do in like really, really heavily run games like Super Mario 64 and things like that. Is they have these category extensions where they try and they come up with these weird ideas for speedruns and then do them, because that way they can be ranked second instead of 200th. I've never seen whilst holding blowhigh as a record in a category extension. If there's any game that would have that, I guess it would be Celeste. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, having to undo and redo is sometimes thing to be aware of as well. I should have remembered to start my zoom level further out as well, which I didn't. New things to remember. Of course it's giving me the most awkward tiles it can possibly think of. Why would it not? Oh, of course I accidentally... Yeah, this is not going to be a good time. I've accidentally blocked off this quest from completion. This is a textbook example of how not to do it. Yeah, as a result, I can't do that one either. This run is dead. Let's just see how long it takes. Get to 1,000. I don't need to worry about running out of tiles because the game just doesn't go on long enough for that to happen. I need to worry about failing quests because I've made stupid placements. Like that, for example. So I'm trying to keep the screen in one place. So I'm gradually zooming out as the game progresses because I don't want to waste time moving the camera around. It's not the angle at which you'd normally play Dorf. So I'll just get a forest piece. Okay. 323 ish. So that was only slightly slower than my PB, despite the complete pig's ear I made of the first field quest, which, yeah, kind of got in the way of the rest of the run. So I can definitely, I would definitely have saved more than 4 seconds if I hadn't blocked off that first field quest. Yeah, I'm confident we can get a PB. It's just, yeah, sub 3, fine. Sub 2 minutes 30 on the other hand is, yeah. I haven't watched their run in detail, so I don't know if they just got lucky with tiles or if they were doing something more skillful than what I'm doing, which is really just trying to complete quests as fast as possible. I mean, I did get some perfect placements in that. But only 9. So only 600 of the points I scored were attributed to perfect placements. Because it's a lot easier to see and place quests, and quests score more points. Ratmos says 5,000 points while balancing a shark on your nose. And LT Vago says even better. Yeah, then I wouldn't be able to see the screen. Nobody's tried blindfolded Dorf before. If there was some kind of audio cue as to how many perfect edges you had lined up. Like if this made a noise that was different from this noise, then like there is a noise when you rotate the tile, but the noise doesn't tell you how many perfects you have. If there was a difference in the noise, then theoretically you could do a blindfold run. But otherwise, you would literally just be guessing where to put the tiles. Would not be much point. Anyway, we shall try again. This is technically a quest at the start, although it's an awkwardly shaped one. Never a good sign when there's rains this early in. Yeah, I've messed up that rail quest already. Trees are running away from me. No. Nope. I messed up these houses so badly. Eh. Okay. I think I was like that was a PB for sure. I already had the last quest, I think, and I did one more quest then and I needed to, so I might be a second or two off. That was a PB, but it was only just a PB. It was about a 314, 315. I sort of let the forests get away from me. I should have tried to close these. I should have tried to close these flags to get points more quickly because there were 4 flags. The problem is it's really hard to visualize where you need to close things. think it was just here, like there, and then like there. But like when you have an edge like that, it can be really hard to tell at a glance if it's touching the edge or not. In this case, it isn't. But yeah, we got a PB at least. So if nothing else, I'll submit this to speedrun.com as my PB. Ratmo says it is time to hang the wet clothes. Well, good luck with that. You could speedrun clothes hanging. El Tibago says, I've just booked my COVID booster and flu jab for the same time. My poor arms. Oh, I am sorry to hear about your poor arms, although it's probably better than having COVID. Yes, I am eligible for the NHS ones due to health conditions. I need to book those. Ratmost also needs to book them. Ratmost says, oh my gosh, thank you for the reminder. I need to call for an appointment today. Yes. I encourage everybody, even now COVID is less of an issue than it was. I do encourage everybody to get vaccinated, especially those who are eligible for a free one. Okay, I'm going to do one more attempt at 5,000 point, and then maybe we'll do a 10,000 point one. 10,000, you have to be a bit more thoughtful with your tile placement. 5,000, you can somewhat get away with just spamming them as fast as possible and trying to complete lots of quests, which is what I was doing. Ooh. Let's get a start where we... a quest we can complete. This gives us a quest within the first 3 tiles, so we'll take it. We get water straight away. Why would we not? Of course, we had to get an exact rail quest. Getting any good house tiles? Oh, also, there's flags again. I just can't see quickly enough where to put things to get flag quests. Maybe just build round the forest, but it takes so long. There, that got the flag quest, but I don't think it was worth it. No, I'm only getting fixed size Oh. Okay. Well, it was a sub 3. 257. Could have been a lot faster. I was at about 4,500, and then I just stopped getting plus quests. In this speedrun, you really want to get plus quests and not fixed size quests, because you will just fail the fixed size quests because the amount of time it takes to think about how to make an exact area of that size is just too long. Okay, so not world record, still 26 seconds behind world record, believe it or not. But a good chunk off my PB. I think I'll say I'm happy with that time for today. We got the sub 3. So I will cut that one out of the VOD, retime it, submit it to speedrun.com, and improve my second place at least. So the next thing I wanted to try was a 10,000 point. I need to edit the little thing I wrote here because world record is now 7:26 and my PB is 9:20. So a lot more potential save on this one before we get close to the record. But I might as well get a good start. Like, there's no reason not to. Other than it wastes time pressing the new game button a bunch of times. By good start, I just mean I can see within the first 3 tiles I can immediately complete a quest. Which the game is not giving to me now, having been so generous with them before. Really, game? We're gonna do this? Okay. So that works. Put the blow high down for a bit. We've had our half hour of blow high and then some, I think. So this time we're going for 10,000 points. Maybe I should actually put in here the category. Would help. There we go. I will have to play a bit slower this time. Already I get awkward tiles. For some reason I'm not building towards that quest when I should be. Slower means making better use of perfect. Sacrifice perfect placements sometimes. Can immediately benefit from closing off flags or something like that. Also, we are not getting any forest quests now. The mistake of letting a railway get into my quest area again is a mistake I need to stop making. I'm going to take that and take the... Game is sabotaging my attempt to be nice and neat with my up here. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. That's what I was trying to do there. Oh, never mind. We don't need that quest. Get it. Yeah. I feel like that could have been world record if I hadn't messed up so badly there at the end. 7:43. So closer than my 5,000 is to the world record. But yeah, we were, I think we were on pace for world record. I was trying to close the forest because that would have given me 500 points for the 5 flag quests. But I accidentally put a river tile here, so I couldn't close the forest without another river tile, and I was trying to complete this quest with river tiles at the same time. But I'm happy with 7:43 as my first attempt starting back at this mode. It's certainly an improvement on my previous one. And El Tibago says encouraging that it seems beatable. Indeed, I agree. So I think what we'll do, I'll do one more attempt at 10,000 points. We will then take our midstream break. And I will probably go on to Core Keeper after that, because I don't think I can handle 4 hours solid of Dorf speedruns. And Core Keeper was going to be our Friday game. It was our Friday game last week. Well, except it was on Thursday, but you know what I mean. It was our new game for this slot. I just made this decision to return to Dorf after getting an email from speedrun.com saying, hey, by the way, your records have been broken. So 7:43-ish, obviously I'll retime it. I suppose I might as well update my PB. There we go. We shall try again. I did try, as I say, the higher the score you're going for, the more perfect placements you need. I mean, I say need, I wasn't in any danger of running out of tiles. I still had 92 left. To get to 25,000 points, you really do need to start actually paying attention and getting perfect placements to not run out of tiles. My run, I had, I think, 2 tiles left when I got to 25,000. So it was very close. At this point, it's not such an issue, though. But yeah, I think that's not a bad score for the perfects in a speed run, but more would be nice. Certainly. It would be interesting. I don't think the speedrun, the world record video, I don't think shows these stats afterwards. So it would be hard to figure out how many perfect placements they had, but it would be interesting to know that figure. Anyway, I'm going to do another one. Again, I'll try and start with a quest, because why not? Even if it only saves 1 second, that might matter. Feeling like giving us them today. I don't want to start with 2 rails or 2 water, because that doesn't actually complete a quest, because the rail quests are always at least 3. This should, with those 2 tree tiles. Okay. Remember to zoom out a bit at the start as well, which I always forget to do. Okay. Doing. I don't have a good feeling about this one, given the start. Yeah, at some point I need to recognise when a run is going badly and abandon it. Important skill. Okay, I think this is a quest with the first tiles. Yeah. Forgot to zoom out again. What's it gives us one of those. Almost like it knows we're doing a speed run, and it's like, how can we make this as difficult as possible? Mine. isn't going very well either. Maybe I just got a bit lucky with the choices of quests on the last one. Quest. I like how it's just the cozy Dorf music playing whilst I'm desperately scrabbling around trying to speedrun. Is that not? Oh, it's not closed. Ah, it's not closed because of a railway. I've messed it up. Ah. Emma, you idiot. I can't use any of these forest tiles I'm getting. There we go. Oh, and I failed one of the rail quests as well. Wait. Yeah, that was not worth it. Exact quests are such a pain. Need exactly 3 houses there. Oh no, this. Yeah, this isn't going to be better than my previous time. Actually not. I messed this up. I can't connect the forest. There's a river in the way. Silly Emma. been too bad were it not for that. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to abandon that run there because I've reached my PB and I'm obviously not going to beat the record. Yeah, we'll leave that there. Happy with the 743 I got earlier though. I think I had a lot fewer. Where is it there? Yeah, see, my perfect placements were fewer that time as well, so we were not on course for a good time. Also, I mentioned trying to close the flag quests. This run, 2 of the flag quests I got were rail quests. You can't see because there's an alert in the way. These two of the flag quests I got were rail quests. Rail quests are really hard to close because rail end pieces are really rare. I only got 1 this run. You have to use the water train stations, but the water train station, if you have a water train station at the end of a railway, it still counts as open until you've completely surrounded it. So just in general, rails are really hard to close off because of that. So getting rail flag quests is unlucky. I managed to close these out.
Herb Paris, True Lovers Not, Devil in a Bush, Paris Quadrifolia.
Thank you, Altibago, for those redeems. Hope you like the new alerts. As I say, we will do those now, even though we are a few minutes early, and then we'll move on to Core Keeper for this. So, Botany, Herb Paris, True Lovers Not, Devil in a Bush. Interesting names. Botany as usual. For our midstream break, if anybody's been sitting for 2 hours now, would be a good time to get up, walk around, maybe take a sip of water, maybe do a stretch. Altibago says not the dab for stretch. It's the closest thing I have to an actual stretch. I don't have an actual stretch emote, so it will have to do. There we go. Stretching has been done. What have you got there, Harry? Oh, yes, Ophelia has a stretch emote. I can't really use Ophelia's emotes on my alerts, though. That would not be fair. Now, I do need to get myself a glass of water because I forgot when I was frantically trying to start the stream. So I will be back in just a moment, yeah? Where's the... OBS, come on, you can do it. While streamer is away, we wiggle all day. I know what you're up to, Harry. Oh, Ratmost has some wiggle emotes of her own. Very nice. Okay. Let's do some botany. Herb Paris, Latin name Paris quadrifolia. Quadrifolia, I'm pretty sure, means 4 leaves, so if this plant doesn't have 4 leaves, I will be disappointed. And get a picture up so you know what we're talking about. So this is not one that I record myself very much. It does grow in North Somerset, but it's not very common, and I think I have recorded it in a nature reserve, but it's not something I would come across. Okay. This is a good picture. Shows why it's called quadrifolia, certainly. Also shows what the fruit looks like. Go with that one. There we are. So the fruit is in the middle there, and yeah, 4 leaves in a nice diamond shape. Ratmo's showing off some more emotes. Ratmo says, I discovered Twitch has an automatic image wiggler function in the emotes upload area. Yes, it does. So we now have jam, shaking, and oof. Plus I drew a spooky ghost. Very nice. And if anybody would like to use those emotes themselves, go subscribe to Ratmost. Right, let's see what the book has to say about Herb Paris. A rhizotomous perennial herb of moist, calcareous, usually ancient ash woodland, and occasionally in the grikes on open limestone pavement. So rhizotomous means that the plant can spread by putting out roots, and then it roots somewhere and then it grows another plant which is a clone of the parent. So rhizotomous plants tend to form big patches. They spread into a patch very easily. And it also means they are quite hard to get rid of. A lot of notorious invasive weeds are rhizotomous, and you can dig up the whole plant, but if you missed one bit of root and left it in the soil, then the plant will come back. Also, I probably don't need the timer on screen, do I? We're not going to speedrun botany, that's not a thing. We're going to take our time with botany. Calcareous woodland just means that the soil is either limestone or chalk based. So it's an alkaline soil rather than an acidic soil. And yes, the grikes of open limestone pavement are not something we have in Somerset. Not even in Cheddar Gorge, although we have a lot of limestone formations, so it's close. Further north in the country, there are a few areas where you have these big, flat, open expanses of limestone with all these fissures and crevices in it. Because limestone dissolves very easily in water compared to other types of rock. And that creates a very unique habitat with no soil or very, very thin soil for calcareous plants to grow on. It flowers and fruits most freely in the early open stages of a traditional coppice cycle, but persists in deep shade and is well adapted to such conditions in managed woodland. So coppicing is an ancient practice that's not as widespread as it used to be, but it is still done in some areas where you allow a tree to grow a bit and then you cut off all the branches near the base but without killing the tree completely, and then it will grow back, and then you cut it again and it will grow back. So it gives you lots of small trunks, which is good if you want wood of that size for whatever purpose. Hazel is probably the most widely coppiced tree in Britain, although ash was also coppiced. You can still quite often in hedgerows or on old green lanes in the UK, you can see hazels that would have been coppiced centuries ago, and they're not coppiced now, so they're just big trees. But if you look at the base of them, you can see a sort of bulging stump with lots of very small trunks coming out of it. And that's not, hazel doesn't naturally grow that way, so that is a remnant of when that tree was coppiced, potentially centuries ago, as I say. And yeah, you see them all over. And eventually, if coppicing dies out as a traditional practice, there will be none left. But for now, it's definitely a thing you can see. And the consequence of that for woodland plants like Herb Paris is there are some plants that will only really grow in shady woodland. They'll grow in the dark, deep shade, something like an oak woodland. There are other plants that would grow on the margins of woodland, and they are well adapted to coppiced woodlands because, 1 year it's going to be dark, the next year it's going to be light because all the trees have been coppiced, and you've got that cycle going on. Herb Paris disappears following clear felling, probably mainly through desiccation. Seedling recruitment and colonisation of new sites appear to be rare. Generally lowland, but reaching 360 metres at Great Asby Scar and Garrigill. Yeah, those are examples of limestone pavement. Many populations of Herb Paris were lost across its range in Britain before 1930, especially in northern England and central Scotland. Since then, there has been more limited, though continuing decline, especially in southeastern England, through the destruction and coniferisation of ancient woodland, with very limited gains to offset the losses due to inherently poor dispersive abilities. Yeah, so this is a plant that thrived when the UK was covered with deciduous forests, as it was before human arrival. Unfortunately, we've chopped down most of those forests, and because it's so bad at colonising new sites, it's no good to say, oh, well, we chopped down this forest, but we're going to plant it again. That's no good. It will be hundreds, if not thousands of years before Herb Paris can colonise that new forest. Ancient woodland is very, very important for that. People don't realise that you can't just destroy an ecosystem and then try to put it back. It doesn't work that way. And yeah, it doesn't grow in coniferous woodlands. Coniferous woodlands are completely different to deciduous woodlands in terms of the soil type. Often the ground is carpeted with pine needles in pine woodland, making it impossible for any plants to grow at all, even those that would tolerate the conditions. El Tibago says berry is poisonous, although poisonings are rare because the fruit tastes repulsive. Clarifies that the whole plant is poisonous. Yes, don't eat the berry. I know it looks tempting, but don't. Ratmo says, I've heard of hazel coppices. I thought it was a plural noun like swarm or gaggle. So not really. No, if you had a big collection of hazel trees, then it would just be a wood or a forest. You do hear the word copse like this, or coppice like this, used to refer to a small group of trees, like kind of too small to be considered a wood or a forest. The reason it's called that is because that little group of trees was planted for the purpose of coppicing. That's where the word comes from. So yes, it sort of means that, it sort of doesn't. Yeah, like the word grape. There's all these different words that nowadays we would just think of as meaning a group of trees, but historically they had different meanings. I'm just looking for. Yeah, so this is actually or eucalyptus, not hazel, or ash, because it's just the first one I found. But this is the coppicing process. So you have a tree, you cut it almost to its base, but you don't kill it. It starts shooting again, and you end up with more smaller trunks on your tree than you had previously, and then you just keep repeating that process it's 7 to 20 years. Again, that's for eucalyptus, not hazel. But not all trees are amenable to this, but certain ones are, and that's the process. And yeah, if you ever look on an old map and you see somewhere marked as a copse or coppice, then that's what was done with those trees. Nowadays, it probably isn't done because we don't use wood for as many things. We don't really harvest wood locally for firewood. Most people have electric or gas-powered central heating. We don't build things out of wood increasingly. So, yes. Ratmos says, this looks like Nightshade. It's not Nightshade, is it? It's in the same... It's related to Nightshade. It's not the same family, but it's the next level up. It's related. It's one of a number of plants with blackberries that are very poisonous. It's not deadly Nightshade. So the Nightshade is actually a whole family of plants. Of which deadly Nightshade is actually not even the most poisonous of those plants, but it's sort of notorious because of its name. And it also has large blackberries. Here's a picture of a deadly Nightshade berry. But the leaves are different, and the habitat is different. Matmos says, I've seen people do this with tall conifers, pines and cedars to encourage them to grow out instead of up. They always look really goofy for at least a few years. Yeah, that's very true. So there are all sorts of cultivation or gardening practices to make plants grow a certain way. Coppicing was specifically done as a source of wood, because it's more efficient to allow the same tree to keep regrowing rather than killing it completely and planting a new one. Whereas I think encouraging the cedar to grow outwards is just to make it look nicer as an ornamental tree. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. Yeah, Nightshade is a good name. But there are many other types of Nightshade besides deadly Nightshade. Possibly the most common in the UK is called Enchanter's Nightshade. Enchanter's Nightshade is an amazing name, because it sounds like it's some sort of fictional plant from some sort of fantasy novel or something. But no, it's real. You can't necessarily do enchantments with it. And again, it's in the same family. It looks... I think they have this same basic pattern of... Let me just bring up... This is Enchanter's Nightshade. You can see it has two leaves going out that way, and then underneath them two leaves going out that way. So the fourfold symmetry is still sort of there. It's just that with Herb Paris, the four leaves actually come out of the same point on the stalk. Quite often, Latin names try to be descriptive about the structure of the plant, more so than English names. So quadrifolia in this case, meaning four-leaved. But yes, a rare plant suffering from habitat loss and needs to be protected. More specifically, the woodlands in which it grows need to be protected. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the microphone with my books. Ratmo says, I read that hazel was used for charcoal burning, so it makes sense you want very consistent pieces. Yes, it was. That's very true. The conifer coppicing I see is usually an attempt to prevent trees from getting so tall that they could damage roofs by dropping limbs. Very good point. Yeah, unfortunately near me there are some very tall pine trees that somebody planted in their garden. Probably to screen them from the wind. and then they didn't maintain them, and now they're stupidly tall. They're twice as tall as any of the nearby native trees, and they just look stupid and out of place, and they're growing above other people's houses, but they're too tall for anyone to reach, and it's just... My garden gets full of pine needles every autumn, which is... Not that sweeping up leaves is much fun either, but deciduous leaves are so much easier to deal with than pine needles, which you just get absolutely everywhere. Anyway, rant over. Matmos says it's beautiful. I love the long, delicate flower chains. It is. It's surprisingly, it's just quite an inconspicuous forest flower a lot of the time. Because it's got to compete against things like bluebells, which are much more dramatic. So I think it's kind of underrated as a flower, Enchanter's Nightshade. Anyway, let me put these books back. Thank you, Teabago, for that request, and thank you, Ratmost, for sharing things with us as well. So yeah, I thought we'd do Core Keeper for the second half of the stream, so just give me 1 sec whilst I set that up. Get out of Dorf. Please enjoy this picture of a Herb Paris whilst I change the stream category. Ratmo says pines were native tree here. Yeah, I mean, obviously nothing against people growing pines where they're native, but they're not. There is a species of pine called Scots pine, which is native to Scotland, but here in southern England, we don't have any native conifers apart from yew. We don't have. But we have so many people. I think the problem is people don't realise that how unnatural conifer plantations are. We talk about the destruction of forests. I mean, 99% of the native forests have gone from England. You know, they went centuries ago because all the wood was cut down for human settlements. And people are like, oh, but there's a forest here. Look, it's full of trees. Yeah, but it's not a natural forest. It's a conifer plantation. It's there for commercial timber production. It doesn't support native species. It supports invasive species. It's better than nothing, but it's not natural. It's not good. And I think a lot of people, like people who don't know about botany, just think, oh, green trees, forest, that's good, that's natural. And it really isn't. Altibago says you can just leave leaves in a big pile for hedgehog friends too, not so much with pine needles. Yes, that's true. Anyway, I've gone on another nature rant and haven't changed my stream category. So I was trying to do.